Cool. Hello, Simon and Malin here, and today we're looking at the solo taxonomy by Biggs and Collis, 1982. The structure of observable learning outcomes. And why this is important is because it really it influences or it drives your assessment rubrics, your assessment tasks, your understanding of your assessment, and the understanding of what you need to do with a subject when designing a subject, and certainly when assessing whether people have, how well they've done it and what they've done with it. So we assess what we observe, yeah. Therefore, we identify what we wish to observe, and we leave room, with this taxonomy, we leave room for more. It's very interesting in that this whole concept of passive learning. So teacher goes, blah, 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 blah. Student goes, blah, 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 blah. Excellent, you've passed the exam, that's it, you know the subject. No, it doesn't work like that. It's never worked like that. People just become really good at passing exams, remembering enough to pass exams. And that's, let's see, that's not necessarily capable of applying that in the world. So we use the solo taxonomy because that enables us to push those boundaries a lot further. The utility of the taxonomy is that you use your assessment rubric as a treasure map. It's fantastic. And it's really good for the educators, really good for the students. If you want all the treasure on the island, you follow all of the clues on the map in the rubric. And you get all of the points, all of the treasure. If you follow some of the clues, so if you only support some of the things in the rubric, then you only get some of the points. If you apply passive learning, oh no, look, I really don't understand it and I didn't really do much, then you don't get any points. You may not get any treasure at all. As a matter of fact, you may fail the subject. The whole point is to reduce passive learning and get people to be curious and active and responsible or consequential for their learning. So how I like to view it is, if you tell me what I told you, you will most certainly fail the subject. I mean, it's just that simple. I need to know what you're going to do with it. I need to know what you're going to do it at a very minimum. And then you can go, I'm going to do this with it. And guess what? It will do this as well. I can also go here. Fantastic. So this is the solo taxonomy. It's a tool. Now, we need to understand the concept. And so I'll use a tool or a device or a journey that will help you understand this concept because it's about the concept of the solo taxonomy, not about the thing that we're looking at. You apply it to teaching later. So let's look at it in simple context. Here's the solo taxonomy to start with. You look that up, you find out more information on that because there's lots there. I love it because you see up the top, you get your describing words. So basically, pre-structural means I don't know anything. Unistructural means I've got one idea or two ideas. Multistructural means I have a number of ideas, but I don't know how they go together. Relational, I have a number of ideas and I can see how they come together. So an extended abstract, I have a number of ideas, I can see how they come together, and they can come together in this other context. So there's the visual for it, and there's the simple to complex concept for it. In terms of teaching, pre-structural, what is teaching? I don't know. Yeah, pre-structural. Unistructural, what is teaching? You have students, yeah, one concept, or you have students and a school. Multistructural, you have students, a school, and content. Yeah, but so what? Where does that go? Relational, you've got students, school, content, and if you bring the content to the students in meaningful ways, they learn. Perfect. Extended abstract. Students, school, content. If you bring them together in meaningful ways, they learn, and then you can take them to set personal projects where they go out and they extend that learning and they show it in other contexts, or they connect it with other subjects. No way. Are you connecting literacy with science because they're going to tell a story about something scientific? Yes. Are you connecting art with science because they're drawing things in biology and then they're labeling them? Yes. So extended abstract works like that. Let's look at it in a simple journey so that you understand the purpose of the solo taxonomy. So here it is. I come from another planet. I know, hard to believe. I come from another planet and I land here in the middle of winter and I've got no idea because I don't know what's going on. So I'm walking around in the snow in my thongs and shorts. Yeah. And a person comes up to me and says, you should go back to your house. And I say, what's a house? So that's pre-structural. So we begin. Now, these are questions for you. What is a house? And so it's a building or a shelter with a roof. So here you've got this really great image that just says, yeah, well, that's all I'm going to work with from this information. Okay, multi-structural. What's a house or houseness? It has a roof, it's a shelter, it's a structure, it's got doors and windows. So now I've got multiple concepts that are coming together or ideas that are coming together, but they still don't tell me everything about houseness. So then I'm moving towards relational. Excellent. So it has a kitchen where you prepare food. Let's see. It's got a lounge area. It's got details about it to enhance your standard of living. And so here we go. You need to relax. You need to be nurtured. You need to be able to eat. It has a kitchen for food preparation. It will keep you warm. The windows will open and close so you get fresh air for temperature control. So this is relational. Now I'm beginning to understand really what houseness is. Yeah, because all of the terms and conditions are coming together. So this is where aspects of houseness can be related to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where the requirement of human development and aspirations are embraced. Quick look at Maslow's, and you can see right down the bottom here, psychological needs, breathing, food, water, shelter, etc. Then safety and security. So it's actually got to be safe within your house and within your neighborhood. Loving and belonging. Now we're coming up the ladder. So we're moving from base level living to more complex levels of living. Yeah, loving and belonging. So some sort of family or community, self-esteem. So now within that community, within that structure, within that whole world, I'm actually valuing myself. And I'm being able to do something, understand that and do something with that, till eventually self-actualization. Now I'm exceeding my view of myself, and I'm creating, I'm experiencing purpose, all those aspirations that people need. So in a way, the solo taxonomy is like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, only it's the solo taxonomy hierarchy of learning and learners' needs. It's about pushing people from the base level, the pre-structural and the uni-structural, right through to the very least, the relational. Relational, you'd be around about self-esteem. Extended abstract, we're moving into self-actualization. Extended abstract, yes, not only do I understand what you told me, I can now tell you something new about that. Perfect. So where we want to move beyond the relational level of understanding, we move into extended abstract. What is the extended abstract of houseness? Yeah, cool, good question. So I have a weekend holiday hut in the Gobi Desert. Who would have known? But there you have it. Sun, sand, dirt, fresh air. What more would you need? Yeah? Beautiful. And the interior of it might look like this. So I've got levels of comfort that respond to the environment. So we've gone for the relational. Yes, I understand these concepts of houseness, and now I've put them in another context, in another environment, in another climate. Interesting place. Yeah, nice. No mirror ball. Yeah, no espresso machine, not yet. So here the details offer a specialist house-home response to the environment and the comfort and conditions I need. That's the question. What comfort and conditions do I need to be prepared for or aware of? So what does extended abstract really mean? Let's push it further. The capacity to take the concept and utilize it in new or diverse ways. Yeah, that's what you need to do with your learning. For example, houseness happens. What happens if I go to my birdwatching cottage in the Arctic? Oh man, I know, such a traveler. Gobi Desert, Arctic, where should I live? So here's a concept of something that would be in the Arctic. Yeah, nice place. Here's something a bit more realistic. But what details, what sort of support and environment or in interior environment do I need in my house, in my houseness for the Arctic Circle? Yeah. What about here? If I'm living in a tree house, yeah, in a forest, what sort of things do I need to think about there? So that's the point. The extended abstract goes, this, no, wait, and this, and this. That's it. That's it. All of those little aha moments. And intrinsic motivation, you must do the work. It's active learning. Passive learning will not cut it at all in this century. It's just not going to happen anymore. So it's reasonable to assert that houseness is directly related to and varies because of the environmental conditions, the geographic location, and the resources available. One would build a house with different attributes in an earthquake-inclined region to a house in the Arctic Circle. Yeah, absolutely. So now, how do you consider solo taxonomy through education? So for you, that's a thing to put in your folio. Start with, what is education? I don't know. Pre-structural. And then move it through multi-structural, relational, and extended abstract. Have a go, see how you go, because it will improve your thinking about who you are and what you do and how you relate to the world around you. It's a great journey. Also, consider preferential learning styles and how this influences your teacher thinking. What way do I prefer to learn? Are there different ways? What happens if someone else prefers to learn in a different way? How am I going to change who I am? How am I going to take the risk to go out there and teach in that way or facilitate in that way so that they can learn as well? Yeah? And then consider, what arts areas are your least favorite? I hate painting. Man, I can't stand painting. No way. Drawing. I'm so rubbish at drawing. Paper folding. I'm really good at paper folding, man. Origami. All of my students are going to do origami forever. No. So this is the thing. Consider what you're not good at, consider what you are good at, and consider how you're going to encompass all of these things to nurture your students for your arts education. Yeah? The whole deal is, you're a gardener. They're the plants in the garden. They're the little creatures in the garden. And it's your responsibility to nurture them and to allow them all the conditions they need to grow up to be the best, whatever they're going to be. Yeah? So you don't control it. Whatever they're going to be, you just want them to be the best. And that's the responsibility of being a teacher. It's not like laying bricks, which is also quite talented, but quite predictable. Bricks are pretty much predictable. Yeah. So consider those things and put those in your folio and upload those to the discussion area in the LMS for other people to look at. So let's have a look at the wealth of experiences that everyone has and the wealth of questions, the wealth of the journey, the learning journey that we're going to take. Remember, there are no wrong answers. There's just discovery and learning with and through critical reflection. Critical reflection. Be critical of yourself. Don't be harmful. Just like keep questioning, keep digging till you get to the bottom of it. Thank you very much. Cheers, and see you for the next one. Oh.